Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. We got another great one for you today with the Divi 5 theme. We got a little hero section here with a title, beautiful picture in the background there, little button that says more info there. When I click on it, it's going to pop up some more info and they can read it, they can interact with it. If they need to, they can click on the button, close it. With Divi 4, we had to do a whole load of coding to make this happen. Today, we're going to use the Divi Interactions new feature to do this. And it works perfectly on tablet and mobile. If I hit my F12 key, I'm on Google Chrome. Here we have it on an iPhone 12. I've got a different picture in the background for that one. But of course, when we hit the more info, we've got our info pop up. And again, they can hide it again if they want to. And on a tablet, exactly the same sort of thing. Really nice little feature to have on your site, especially if you're showcasing a product or a car or something like that. Really easy to do. I'll show you exactly how to do it. So let's get started. I've got this page open in my builder over here. Let's flip back to desktop mode and we'll delete everything we've got here and start from scratch. As with a new page, Divi puts a section in there, wants you to put in a little row. Well, the first thing I'm going to put in is a single row. I'm going to use a little heading module for my heading today. And I just put my crazy car name in there. Okay, well, I want a picture of the car to be here at all times, and I want it to be full screen on all devices. So I'm going to go into the section again, the blue tab. I'm going to go down to background. You'll always find that under content. Third tab along, background image. Let's add background image. That'll do fine. That's not really going to work. It's sort of squished up against the top. Like I say, I want it to be full screen on all devices, so it's stretching the full width and the full height, no matter what device they're looking at it on. To achieve that, still in the section, I'm going to go to design. I'm sure some of you are ahead of me. Sizing. I'm going to use minimum height because on real small phones, it may want to get bigger. I'm going to type in 100 and VH for viewable height. Or you can select viewable height over here, right there. Great, exactly what I want. So this is going to be full height on all devices. But let's check it out on a tablet. Okay, but we're losing some of our car, and I've got a different image that's cropped slightly different. And it's okay to put different images on different devices. Really easy to do too. So still, while we're on the tablet mode, again, still in the section, I'm going to go to content where we put our background image. I'm going to put a completely different image in that's cropped better for a tablet and a phone. Perfect. Let's have a look on a mobile device. Yeah, that's going to work fine on that one too. Something that a lot of people don't seem to realize is you can put different background images in on different devices. Really little handy trick. Okay, well, my title's not looking too good there. Let's jazz it up a little bit. We'll go into the title module. I'm going to go over to design. It's heading text. I don't really want it to be a heading one. I could be for this page if that was all it was about. I'm going to make mine a heading 2. I'm going to use a blocky font that I've used before called Anton. I've got it saved in my recents up here. To audition one of these fonts, just roll over it. It'll give you an example. I'm happy to use Anton. Let's make it so we can see it. I'll make it white in color. Great. I'm going to make it an awful lot bigger. I think I perhaps used 110 pixels. I don't know why that's sticking in my mind last time. That looks about right. Great. I'm going to shift it to the middle. And just to keep it in fashion with our little blue car here, I'm going to give it a sort of text shadow, but I'm going to use a bit of blue for the color. Roll down a little bit more. I'm going to use text shadow. Try putting in the first one here. And for the color, I'm going to use the default light blue. It'll give it a little blue glow to the background. That's a little bit too much for me there. Let's flip through a couple of these. Still a little bit too much. That's more like it. Something like that will work for me. I'm going to leave it just like that. If it's still too much for you, you can just reset that color. Or perhaps we'll use the darker blue. It'll be a little more subtle. I quite like the light blue, so let's reset. Pop it back to the light blue. Great. Okay. Now we need to build the section that we want to pop up here. whatever it is you want to build. For mine, I'm going to add a new row. I'm going to throw 2 columns in mine. In the first column, you can make yours as complex as you want to. I'm going to put a blurb module. For the image, let's go into the blurb. I'll leave it on all the default stuff there. But for the image, we can go down image and icon. We'll throw in a different image of the car, perhaps. I think that's the one I used before. I'm going to leave everything else just like it is. Let's just go into the text and make that light in color so that we can see it. And we're going to pop up this whole row. I'm going to go into the row itself, the green tab, and give it a background so it stands out a little bit more when it pops out. As we said before, background's always under content. I'm just going to give it a black color. But I'm going to take the opacity down slightly so we can see a bit of the car or whatever it is behind it, just like that. And I'll give it a bit of breathing space by giving it a bit of padding all around. To do that, we can go into design, spacing. You'll always find margin and padding. Let's perhaps give it 2% all around. We'll try that. 2% right there. That's what we're going to have all around. I think that's going to work fine. Let's put it on the bottom as well. Then we'll do the same for left and right. Yeah, that works for me. Great. Then over here, I put in a little call to action module so they can interact with it. What you want to say in yours. And for the button, that's a take a test drive. Button won't show up till we put a link in for it. Obviously, we can do that just down below in the link. You want to take them somewhere with that. To your contact form or obviously whatever you want to do. I think I'm just going to make that uppercase and leave it just as it is. In design, here's the button. Use custom styles. Button text. I think all I'm going to do is make that uppercase. Take it down a little bit in size. Maybe 16 pixels. Obviously adjust it to taste. Now to make it a little bit more interesting, I threw an image in the background here and blended it with that black background blue. So to do that, over in content, we'll find our background again. Let's add an image. I think I used that one. It's kind of made the writing a little difficult to read, so let's blend it with that blue that's in there. Color blue there, and you can change that for anything you want, obviously. Do that by rolling down a bit. Background image blend. I'm going to multiply it. Great. Our text is very readable there. Now for the last thing that we want to pop up here, I'm just putting a little price in, a crazy price. Obviously you'd have some real stuff to put in here. And as I said before, you can make it as detailed as you want to. I'm going to add a new module. I'm going to use a fantastic little blurb module again. This time I don't want any content. I'm going to put a crazy price in. Whatever these things cost. Let's say $1,452,328.00. I could have put a 99 on the end there, I suppose. I don't want to use an image. I'm going to use an icon today. I want a dollar sign, so let's find one of those. Perfect. I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm going to hop over to design now. Image and icon. I'm actually going to leave it that blue color, but I do want it to be on the left-hand side. So instead of top, I'm going to left click, flip it to the left-hand side. And for my title text, remember the number is a title there. Let's make that a color we can see. I'll make it a lot bigger. Try 30 pixels, see how we get on with that. That's fine. I'm going to throw it over the right-hand side. Great. So this is what we're going to have pop up. And we'll have this on desktop. Similar layout on tablet, which will work fine there. On mobile, they're going to stack. For me, I think that's going to work fine. If you wanted to, you could hide this module if it's too deep on mobile. I think I did that before. Or just the image. If you wanted to hide the whole module on mobile, just make sure we're in the right module here. The blurb module. Advanced visibility. And if you get to it, and it's grayed out like this, and it says you can't do it, all we need to do is flip back to desktop mode. We're still in the same module. We're still on visibility, but we can do it now. And we can disable this one on phone. Great. If we flip back to phone now, that'll be slightly grayed out, telling us it's not going to appear on the phone. If you just wanted to do the image, you could go into the module itself, down to the image, just delete that image. As we're on mobile phone, it'll just delete it on mobile. You'll still have it on tablet and desktop. So great, I'm going to leave it like that. We've just hidden that on mobile there. We may want to change our text on tablet and mobile, and we'll test it in the real browser in a minute. Let's go back to the desktop. I'm fairly happy with that. Now I'm going to add a little button that we're going to use to hide and show this thing. Now initially this row, I'm going to go into the row. To use interactions, it's always a great idea to give whatever it is you're interacting with an admin label. So I'm going to go into the row. Down at the bottom, you'll find admin label. Let's just call it car pop-up or something. It's something to identify it. For anybody that doesn't realize what I'm talking about, let's just save that. I'll go to wireframe mode. When we look at our row now, it's got the name of car pop-up. It's going to make it really a lot easier to identify when we add an interaction to our button, which we're going to do next. So let's add another row, because we don't want to put the pop-up button in this row because you won't see it when we make this invisible. I'm going to use a single column. Funnily enough, I'm going to use a button module. And we're going to have it say more info. Obviously, whatever you want to say for yours. For the link, I'm not going to put anything in for the minute. Don't want a loop or anything like that. Let's just go over to our design. Alignment. I want a button to be in the middle. Text. Well, let's do that in the button. I'm going to go into the button itself, use custom styles. For the button background, again, I'm just going to use that default blue color we've been using. But I'm going to take a bit of the opacity away. Up here, let's make it perhaps 50% opaque so we can see through it a little bit there. Button border. I want it to be white, but I only want it to be perhaps 1 pixel. And let's do the button text. Default font's fine. I'm going to make it uppercase. I'm going to make it a bit smaller. Again, let's try 16. I want it to be a good color that we can see, which would be white again. Fantastic. And if we want to give it that similar glow as we did to this up here, just to make it stand out a little bit more, very easily done. Over in box shadow down below. Again, I'll try this first one. We'll try that light blue. If it's too much, we'll use a darker blue. I think that's okay. That's going to work fine for me. Now, if you want to have a different color when we hover over the button, I could have done that when we were in there just now. Back into the button background. Let's go up here, little computer type icon, left click, flip it to hover. We can change any of our settings now and have them different color on hover or whatever you want to do. Let's darken it down a little bit perhaps on hover. Fantastic. When you're happy, we can flip back. And we can close up a little button right there. Fantastic. Okay, how do we make this pop up? Well, firstly, we want to hide it. So if we go into our row, we want it to be invisible on all devices when the page loads. So I'm going to go over to advanced, down to visibility. I'm going to hide it on all devices. Great. And it's grayed it out a little bit just to let it know on the back end it's not going to be there for us. And we gave it an admin label. So let's go back into our button now and make this happen. So once in the button, it'll tell us up there. We can go over to advanced and find the new interactions tab. Let's add an interaction. How do we want to interact? Well, we want people to click on this little button right here. So I'm going to put click. Don't need an admin label. Want it to happen on click. We want to toggle the visibility is exactly what we do. What that means is if it's invisible, it's going to show it. If it's invisible and they click again, it's going to hide it. Target module. Now this is where the admin label comes in. It's going to load everything on the page from the first section to the first row, first column to the first heading. That's why in the row we gave it the admin label car pop-up. Makes it really easy to find. Fantastic. Don't want any delay. Want it to happen as soon as they click on it. Well, let's save our changes now and see what's going to happen. Let's save that. Let's save draft. Let's preview. There we have it. We've got the nice picture of the car on the page. Our section's always going to be 100% of the screen size on all devices. Hopefully when I click on this button, it's going to pop up a little info section there. They can go in there, read it, interact with it. If they want to, they can click back on the button, hide it again. And let's have a look on tablet and mobile. I'm going to hit my F12 key. Here we have it on an iPad. Perfect. Was going to change the text size, but I think that's going to work fine. If you've got a complex section here, you can always roll down a little bit. I might change the padding on this because that's a little squashed up for me on tablet. Real easy fix. And let's have a look on perhaps an iPhone. Yeah, we need to take that text down on an iPhone. And let's just close this up. Initially, this is what they're going to see. That does not look good. And we click on the button. And this stuff's okay. Remember, we hid that info section just on mobile, as you can see, or as you can't see, it's not there. And we can close back up. Do need to fix that on phone. And the padding on tablet. Let's get that done and we should be good to go. So on tablet, I'm going to go into this module here, which is our call to action. I'm going to go design and spacing. It's not got anything for left and right. I'm going to put in, let's try putting in 20 pics and see if that spreads it out just a little bit. I think that'll work for me on that one. Then on mobile, we really needed to take this text down by quite a bit. So if we go into our heading text, design, heading text, here was our H2. Still 110. What if we made it 50? We'll try that. Now let's save our changes. Now that we've debugged, we'll preview again. So again, on desktop, we've got it here. That's working perfectly on desktop, just what I wanted. Let's have a look again on the iPad Air. That's better. The button's not so squashed up there. That's absolutely fine. And on mobile, that title should hopefully fit now. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I mean, I took it down quite a bit. You can take it to wherever you want. But do check it on the browser because in the builder, it'll get you close, but you may have a discrepancy in the browser. And obviously, once you go live, if you can, check it on the real devices themselves. It'll save you a lot of headaches later on. So I'm fairly happy with that. So there we have it, guys. There's how to use a new interactions feature to build a little hero section with a pop-up info that people can read and interact with. Really easy to do, really fantastic feature that they built in. Like I said, with Divi 4, we had to do a lot of coding to do that, which was fairly easy, but now you can do it all with just a few clicks of the mouse, which is great. And speaking of Divi 4, we're going to be doing more and more with Divi 5 as we go along now. If you have any questions about Divi 4, please drop them down below. I'm happy to make a little demo video or explain it for you if I can. So once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.